Happy first holiday video of the year. So this is actually a video idea that I had last year, but then I didn't think of it until it was far too late. And the reason why this is the first video I'm putting up this year is because this is something you're gonna wanna make before December even starts. So me and my best friend Taylor have always been really into the beauty advent calendars, and they're so fun, and I had a couple of them before, and they're just really fun. They're like a little treat, like a little small Christmas gift that you get to open up before Christmas. But the thing is, they're kind of pricey, and sometimes you kind of get stuff that you don't actually want. This year I decided to gift my best friend Taylor a advent calendar made by me, filled with things that I curated specifically for her. So I do believe this ended up being cheaper, maybe not, I don't know. I'm not really sure if it was cheaper or not, but I know she's gonna love all of the things that are inside of it. The thing about making these yourself is that you can literally go as crazy as you want, or you can go as minimal as you want. Like, you can seriously cater this to whoever you're giving it to, or cater this to your own taste, your budget, your style. It's completely up to you. Like, you can just put candy in it, you can put makeup in it, you can put whatever you want inside of it, and you can make it look however you want. It's just something that's really fun, especially if you and your friend were gonna make one for each other. It's just something really fun to do. Today I'm gonna be sharing with you guys how I am making the advent calendar for my friend Taylor. And Taylor, if you're watching this, the only one you ruin it for is yourself, so keep that in mind. And with that being said, let's get started. So I just kind of want to quickly go over everything before I get into it. Obviously, you're going to need 24 little goodies that you're going to be putting in your advent calendar. Now, I went kind of I have a couple of treats, I have some beauty items, and I have a couple of just kind of random stuff as well. Stuff that I know that she's going to like. So I have, yeah, 24 little items here that I know she's going to love. And then my pile over here is all the DIY supplies. So I'm putting my advent calendar in boxes because I have two of the exact same size, and my plan is to make it kind of like a book, so it will open like this and there will be little doors inside. However, if you don't have two of the same size boxes, you can just make it flat and cut the doors in the front. Totally up to you, whatever you feel like doing. And then, since these boxes aren't Christmassy, I have some pretty Christmassy paper I got from the dollar store. I have some tissue paper to make sure that the items don't slip and slide around on the inside, and they just kind of remain kind of comfortable. And then I have a couple of other little things that we will kind of get to as we go along, because they're more so just decorative. Yeah, so first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up my boxes because I want them to be wrapped. As cute as this beautiful pink box is, it's just not the Christmassy vibe. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up these boxes, then we're gonna get into the really fun part. Or it could be the really hard part, I'm not really sure. Are all of these things going to fit in these boxes? Who knows? But we're gonna find out. Also, I am gonna be wrapping these boxes with the cover open because I'm wrapping it before I'm placing the things on the inside, and obviously I'm gonna need to open it and put the stuff inside. Wrapping it with the lid open. Basically, what I'm gonna do now is just open them up and lay everything inside in the order, just kind of place everything out in a way that it fits and a way that there's enough space to create doors. Also, something that I showed in the footage but didn't actually mention is that for the top of the box, I actually just put a layer of Mod Podge on to keep the wrapping paper down, because when we're gonna be cutting doors in this, I didn't want the wrapping paper to just be flappy and falling off when we're cutting the doors in, so I just glued it all down right at the beginning so that we don't have to mess with it later. you, it did take quite a bit of time to get a good arrangement going with these, just because I have some like kind of weirdly shaped stuff, some really big stuff, and then some smaller stuff. So it was a bit like a game of Tetris trying to get these in there perfectly, but I think I did it. And if you're wondering why I'm holding a Herbaland Gummies box, it is because I'm gonna be using this empty box, cutting it up and gluing it in as dividers for each of the items so that none of the items are going to be basically falling down to the bottom once it's lifted up. I'm just gonna cut strips as long as I need them and glue them in between the items. So I went ahead and drew around each of the items with a pencil just so I knew exactly where the cardboard strips were going to go. And then I pre-cut out a bunch of cardboard strips in the same width just so that I'd have a relatively similar depth for each piece of cardboard, because I'm going to be overlaying some tissue paper once all of the cardboard strips are in and once all of the items are in. So I'm gonna go ahead and just glue these in where I have all of the lines. Officially finished putting in the dividers for every item, and it's looking pretty good. Everything's fitting super well, which I'm just, thank goodness. So now comes the part that I've kind of been dreading because I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna do it. I have to start cutting the doors. We are gonna like put some tissue paper and some fun stuff on the inside of this, but I have to start cutting the doors first. Also, something that I kind of forgot about, these flaps go inside, and now they can't because of those dividers, so I'm going to have to cut those off. I think what I'm gonna do is take a ruler and just kind of measure out how big each slot is and cut a door and hope for the best, basically. So I think what I'm gonna do is draw this whole thing out on the inside and work from the inside, because that way I don't have to draw on the outside and like mess it all up. And then once I have everything drawn out, I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut it out. So now that I have the cover all traced out, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut little doors in each one just by making like a really blocky C shape, but I'm not gonna go all the way to each line because obviously we need some cardboard to hold this thing together. So I made it all the way to this point and I realized that I didn't really like the way that the doors were looking, just because there was no real way to keep them closed. They were kind of falling inward, some were poking outward, so I didn't end up going all the way with the other side of the calendar, and I decided to make this more of like a punch through calendar instead. So I took my X-Acto knife and cut off all of the door flaps that I previously cut. And if you don't know what a punch through calendar is, basically we're gonna be covering all the holes with tissue paper so that you can just punch through the tissue paper to get the item. So to do that, I just took my tissue paper and cut it down to size so that it fit directly over top of the box. And then I just took a little bit of Mod Podge on a paintbrush and painted the Mod Podge all over the top of the inside of the box. You want to make sure you do this slowly, and you want to make sure that you get like every inch of the cover of the box, because if your tissue paper isn't stuck all the way around the hole, when you punch through it, you're going to end up ripping through the holes that are right next to it. So you want to make sure you do this thoroughly and slowly and make sure that it is literally stuck down everywhere that it could possibly be stuck down. And once you have it all stuck down and it's dry, it should look a little something like this, which is a little bit more like uniform and aesthetically pleasing to look at, in my opinion. I know it's not perfect, but you know, we're just gonna go with the flow on this one. So then I took some label stickers and numbered them 1 through 24 using a green marker. I went ahead and kind of made them swirly and stripy, and you can do this, or you can go ahead and find your local dollar store or craft store, because I'm sure that they will carry some number stickers that you don't have to go through the hassle of writing them all down. You can just peel and stick wherever you feel like it. And then, like I just said, you can peel and stick wherever you feel like it. I didn't have a specific order that I was sticking these numbers down in. I was kind of just like putting them down wherever I wanted to. And so the order is going to end up being a little bit of a surprise to me as well. And, you know, speaking of surprises, I was really surprised to find that number 18 didn't have anywhere to go. So somehow I managed to only put 23 things in this calendar, so sorry Taylor that one of these is missing, but make sure you count, like triple count, and make sure you have the right amount of items before you start doing this, because if you don't, you'll probably end up like me
So then I took this piece of ribbon that has Velcro on it because I wanted to use it for the closure, but unfortunately it wasn't long enough to wrap all the way around the book. So I took some hot glue and a couple pieces of ribbon to create kind of like a spine on the back of the book. I know it's not the most like aesthetically pleasing look. I mean, you can touch it up more afterwards if you want to, but I just left it like this. Then I took the Velcro ribbon and glued it onto the front, making sure that you would be able to open it using the Velcro. And then I wrapped it around the back and glued the excess just around the back of the book. And yes, like I said, the back isn't like super appealing. So if you did want to go a little bit like, you know, extra with this, you could glue another piece of wrapping paper on the back to cover up all these ribbons. But I didn't think that was necessary. You know, this is just for fun. It's not anything, you know, too crazy. So when your calendar is done, if you did it just like me, you should be able to open it up and it looks a little something like this. I think the holes are just, you can see them a lot better rather than when you did the doors. And I don't know, I'm pretty happy with it. I know it's not perfect. The tissue paper doesn't lay super flat in some areas, and I'm really hoping that none of these like slide around when she's opening them, but honestly, it's the thought that counts, and I don't know, I think it turned out all right. So let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below.
Thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below and comment down below a Christmas tree emoji so that I know you watched it all the way to the end of the video. And make sure to share this video with a friend that you want to try swapping with, because I think that would be super cool. Make sure to comment down below if you have any suggestions or video ideas that you guys want to see for the holiday season. I will see you guys very soon on my vlog channel. Vlogmas is starting up oh so soon, and I will be vlogging every day until Christmas. I will see you guys semi-daily on Instagram and TikTok, as well as next Sunday for another holiday video here on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys then. Bye!